How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hope everyone is having a lovely day. So the Cincinnati Bengals enter the bye week 3-3. Start the season off 0-2. Start the season off 1-3. A slow start. Cincinnati Bengals team at this point is historically a slow starter under Zach Taylor. They do what we kind of was hoping they could do after that 0-2 start. Say, hey, if they can finish 3-3, get to the bye week. Give Burrow a little bit more time to heal up the calf injury. Give the rest of this team a little bit of chance to build some more chemistry, heal up as well. We'll be all right. And that's exactly what the Bengals do. They walk into the bye week on a 2-game win streak, 3-3. They have a gauntlet of a schedule still to come up this season. They got to play the Bills. They got to play the 49ers. They got the Jags, the Chiefs. It's not going to get any easier. But let's take a look back. 6 games into the season. What this Cincinnati Bengals football team has done for us on the good and done for us on the bad. Let's start with the good that we have seen. Let's flip the ball to the defensive side. Trey Hendrickson. I don't want to say he fell off a little bit last year. He felt like he was a little bit more muted on that defensive front. But once again, it feels like Trey Hendrickson, 2 years ago, he was that game changer, that game wrecker that you needed. It feels like he is that once again this season. We've seen this defense make multiple big stops in the fourth quarter. Last game, we've seen them do it multiple times this season. Help this football team win games. Chidobe Awuzie comes back. He's been solid. Cam Taylor-Britt comes, he was kind of hoping to grow on that year last season, and he's been doing that. He's got 2 interceptions so far. It feels like he's been making some good defensive plays, and that's the best you can ask for this young DB. On the offensive side of the football, again, Jamar Chase, he's been playing stellar. Joe Burrow looks to be on the right track again for the Cincinnati Bengals. The offensive line, it's still got some work to be done, but it does feel like it's in a better place now than it was, this time of year last season. And we know what happened this time of year last season. It started to get more chemistry. They started to play more snaps. When they got more snaps together, you got the week 7, 8, 9, 10. That's when that Bengals hit that hot streak, and the offensive line started playing even better. And I think we could see some of that again this season, where we say, all right, right now where are they at? But they're going to be better in 2 weeks. They're going to be better in 3 weeks, as long as they can stay healthy. Plus there. Now we look at the negative so far of this Bengals football team and say, hey, Joe Mixon still struggling back there, still averaging 3.5 yards a carry, not the greatest. Bengals, I see it all over the place. Bengals fans want to see the Bengals run the football more. Now they run the football the 4th fewest rush attempts in the league this season. So yeah, could they run the ball more? Absolutely. But then again, they rank 5th last in the league in rushing yards per carry. You're 5th last in the league in rushing yards per carry, and you believe you have a Hall of Fame franchise-worthy quarterback. Of course, you're going to throw the football more. The problem is, of course, when you're that low in the rankings, all these other teams, even the Mahomes and the Trevor Lawrences and the Josh Allen's, the running backs are still getting 4 or 5 yards a carry at least, which makes it so much more manageable, so much more easier on those 2nd and shorts, 3rd and shorts. It gives your team chances to stretch the football field. I mean, we got to remember how important that is. Bengals not being able to take deep chances. Well, 2nd and 2 comes up a lot more. 2nd and 1, that's your prime chance to take those deep shots down the field, because then you have 3rd and short. Bengals, when you're getting a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 7 all the time, they're forced to throw the football and be a little bit more conservative because they're still trying to get the first downs. So that is something that is clearly glaring for the Cincinnati Bengals team. How they got to figure something out. I feel like we see Mixon some games really spraying, making some big cuts, big plays, doing really well. And there's other games it seems like he can't get out of the backfield. And they got to be able to create some running lanes, be able to create some holes for this guy to run the football. It opens up everything in the offense, opens up the play action. It's going to make things easier for him. When Joe sees them weak boxes and the run game's going well, he's going to check down to that run game more often. Obviously, if they're only getting 2 yards per carry, it makes it more difficult for the entire offense. This offense, which has really been the downside, the concern so far of this team this season, and it's kind of been the thing of the Bengals in general under Zach Taylor, which is they can't find a way to play a full 60-minute game. It's one way or the other, it seems like. It seems like the first few weeks, the Bengals, the first half, they could not score to save their lives. They went how many games without a touchdown in the first half? And now the last couple of games, the offense has been moving the football down the field a little bit better in the first half, but then we get to the second half and they stall out. So I think the one thing you want to see the Bengals work at, if Zach Taylor can figure this out, is he's got to be able to game plan for 60 minutes. There's the game plan entering the game, and then there's the adjustment game plan when the team coming out of the half. Bengals, whatever they do well on both sides of the football, both halves of the football, they don't lose. Games don't seem like they're close. They seem invincible. If they can figure out a game plan that gets that football team moving the football down the field, both ends, both halves, they're good. Especially because anarumo is going to have that defense ready to play in the second half every single time. He is the reason offenses struggle in the second half because he adjusts, he comes up with ways to stop the opposing team, and he makes sure they make stops, big plays, so this offense can go down the field and score points and win football games. So what we need out of this Bengals offense, 60 minutes of play. They're capable. They're so capable of going up here and running up the score on every single team they play. They just need to execute and make, in some situations some better play calls. Some situations they just need to find some consistency. If they open things up in the run game, that's obviously going to help. You don't want to force the run game down a team's throat and then force second and long, third and long. If it ain't working, that's the predicament we're in there. I think you want to see the Bengals run game improve. But all in all, I mean, you watch this team play. You worry about the safety play a little bit. You do because they're young guys. They're going to make mistakes. And we've seen that, especially in the run game. That last game, it was a concern. It was a big concern in the season. Von Bell was a stud back there in the run game. Jesse Bates all around talented safety. You lose those two players, you start to question how much of those guys missing or not being part of this defense is affecting the Bengals stopping the run. The Bengals that were really good at stopping the run these past couple of seasons. DJ Reader, a big part of them being really good at stopping the run. And you started to wonder, was it a mistake letting them safeties go? But last week, Kenneth Walker and company, you hold this man down all game, force Pete Carroll to figure something else out. The guy just wanted to run a football down your throat all game because that's what Pete Carroll does, and that's how they win football games. If you force them to do something else, a team you knew was going to run football, that was a big win. That was a big stand for this defense and a big positive in the right direction here. So I'm feeling really good, even at that direction. They're still susceptible to some of these deep plays. I think some of these younger safeties are Nick Scott and company. But we'll see what happens. It starts again stopping the run game. You stop the run, it's going to make it easier on your defense in general. So we'll see there. I'm feeling a lot better about this defense. No questions about it. And you kind of expect that. anarumo, again, excellent coach. He was going to figure something out. And that's exactly what he's done 6 weeks into the season. Overall, though, 3-3. Bengals in a good spot. You play a little bit above 500 ball. You make the playoffs. Again, tough schedule. But this is a team that we've said, this is the same thing we said 2 years in a row now. We said Bengals tough schedule second half. What are they going to do? Bengals tough schedule. That's what happened. Remember the Super Bowl run? Bengals running the gauntlet. They had the 49ers. They had the Chiefs. I mean, they had to play some division. Right? What were they going to do? Last season, same story again. And they went out there and reeled off, 8, 9, 10 wins in a row. So this team's more than capable of it. Then it's a beauty to see because, hey, guess what? You got to play these tough teams, and when you win and you beat those tough teams, you're ready to play in that playoffs. You say, we can hang with anybody. We'll see what the Bengals do. At 3-3, you play 11 games. You say, hey, 7-4, perfect. You finish 10-7. That's going to be playoffs. You'd like to finish 8-3. You'd like to see them get on a long win streak like they have in years past. Finish, an 8-game win streak. Maybe finish 12-4, or 13-4, 12-5. 12-5 would be really nice. Win the division's a target here, I think. Get in there, win a division. Anything happens from there. You'd love to see that number 1 seed. But again, that would be literally an 11-game win streak. So we'll see what happens. Bengals in a better spot, though, than they were a couple weeks ago. Still optimistic about this team making a run. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.